Welcome back to the show. I'm Henry Darby Cook, and now we have the cast of an independent Welsh sci-fi film with us, Offworld. It's probably best if you introduce yourselves, I guess, rather than me trying to go through you.
Hello, I'm Amy Rowlands and I play Alexa Williams.
My name's Pete Kiek and I play Sean Kane.
I'm Ainsley Barber and I play Ellen Chen.
Great. With the premise of the film and what it's about.
Cool. Yeah. Basically, what we've got is we're 100 years into the future, and the Earth is getting to the point where it is rapidly becoming uninhabitable. So mankind's looking to colonise other planets, and that's where this planet, Epsilon Eridani b, comes into it, which is actually out there. You can check it on Google and everything, it's actually out there. And we've sent one ship out there already to start laying a colony down. And we play the crew of the second ship to go out there, the Tantalus 2. And we've got a cargo of about 250 frozen colonists and DNA samples and various things that we're taking out there to go and sort of bolster their colonisation efforts. Being British, however, obviously things aren't necessarily going to go to plan. And I can turn around and say that the ship crashes.
There's no spoilers there, so right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of integral.
Oh, I can
to
see the
what's
poster
going on.
now. It's kind of clear that something happens.
Yeah, the ship crashes, and basically, the power supply is dwindling. So we've got to hike out to the colony, what surviving crew we've got, before the colonists all start defrosting. So we've got to go out and try and make contact with the colony. So the film itself actually follows the journey of these 9 survivors from the crash site to the colony, and all the relationships and the loss of tantrums and the loss of tempers and loss of foods, and everything's all dwindling, and there are weird noises in the night and all sorts of things. So yeah, and that's basically it. It's a survival story.
It sounds great. It sounds really good. Let's talk about the characters. Obviously, all 3 of you are in it. Should we go through in order of your characters and their relationships with other characters?
So as I said, I play Alexa Williams. She's the ship medic. It's quite clear from the start that she's in a relationship with Scott, who is the ship. Oh, was he?
It's health officer.
The health officer, yes, that's it. I should do that.
The other medic.
The other medic, exactly. And there's a lot of relationships that have already been formed. A lot of them are new, fresh, and sort of my character very much has the role of sort of trying to keep everyone alive, and very much sort of taking that responsibility of, people are going to get ill, I'm going to have to heal them, I'm going to have to make sure they're okay. And that's a big responsibility. So yeah, there's a lot of friendships going on and a lot of hate going on. It's just sort of a bit of everything, really.
Awesome.
Cool. As I say, I play Sean Kane. Now, Sean is basically the second in command of the security detail that's on board the ship, and basically, once we're sort of like trying to make our way from the ship over to the colony, we've got 2 hand pistols. There's myself and, or I should say Sean, and there's Dan Ronson, who is the chief of security, and it is our task to make sure that just in case there is anything that could potentially sort of threaten us, that we're going to be safe, basically. But they're the only 2 that have got any kind of military training.
Right, okay.
So they are the ones that are sort of tasked with sort of trying to keep, not just keep everybody moving, but that they sort of like know how to be able to sort of like have all the survival training and everything. So that's what.
I mean, everyone has obviously training of some sorts, but just of the military type.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. So that's pretty much Sean's role. He's probably closest though with, whilst he's closest with Ronson, he kind of, as you'll see throughout the film, he kind of acts as like a go-between between the 2, whereas sort of Ronson tends to keep himself a bit more aloof. It's Kane, who's very much the sort of like the go-between. He's the one that gets on with all parties.
So Ellen Chen, she's the first engineer. Funny enough, she was originally called chief engineer, but that would have been quite awkward going, all right, chief. So she's the first engineer, and she's essentially in charge of fixing the ship or whatever they have left to put it back together and help navigate their way to the base. Obviously, there's the navigation officer, and there's another technician. Gavin plays communications officer. So she tends to work with him with like various devices and tries fixing things. The interesting thing about her is because she's an engineer, she's very much more about the bolts and the screws, and if it's broken, fix it. And with people, she gets on with everyone, or at least tries to. She's very much the Kaylee from Firefly or Harper from Andromeda. She's very much that kind of bouncy personality. And as much as everyone else, she wants to survive and get to a place, but obviously there's tensions going on around her. So for Ellen, it's very much she's quite a young person as well. She's been living surrounded by her brothers who are also engineers. Her father's an engineer, her father's an engineer. So there's that long line of, this is her time, it's her turn to, help get to the new world and help populate it and so on and so forth. But because she's so young, she's almost like the baby of the group. And so, there's quite a few emotional struggles with her with that.
Some very diverse characters then within this kind of film about 10 people, 9 people, was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's move on and talk about what I opened it with. This is an independent Welsh sci-fi film. So I think a lot of people now will recognise the name, an independent film. But what is an independent film, and what is it like to work on an independent film?
I mean, basically, by being an independent film, it means that we've not sort of scored any budget from any like major studio or anything. We've had to raise a lot of the money ourselves. We've held a Kickstarter campaign, which we started off with like quite a small budget.
Yeah.
We was only looking for £2,000.
Yeah.
And come the end of the month that we ran the campaign, we actually ended up with 10,000.
Wow.
And backers from America, Canada, Japan, all over the UK, Europe. So that's generally what it means for us to be an independent film. As I say, we've got no backing. A lot of us have all given our time up free to be able to do this, just to really kind of prove that it can be done.
It also means that our directors, Terry Cooper and Chris McFall, and the writers as well, Chris Lynch, who wrote the film, it meant that they were actually able to keep all the creative freedom within themselves. It meant that we didn't have any of the strings like most major films would, which is, okay, we fund the money, therefore we dictate how the film is going to look.
Constraints in that way. It was a lot of freedom, and if we wanted to change something, we could. We didn't have to go through ridiculous amounts of routes and jump through a amount of hoops.
Awesome. What was it like to work on an independent film then? We were talking about it a bit before we started shooting. It sounded very different.
It was incredible. I mean, it was pretty intense. We shot the bulk of the film. There were bits filmed outside, but the main bulk of the film was sort of 6-day shoot on this site, and it was
14-hour days.
Yes.
Wow.
14-hour days, 6 days in a row. We were there from sort of sunrise to sunset, really,
And beyond.
Yes, yes, it's true. And it's sort of an ex-open cast mine, I believe, and so it's very much sort of slag everywhere on the floor. It's very open. It's quite barren, so it doesn't look like the normal sort of area that you'd find around here. And it's like a wind funnel. It's just so cold, and
wind does batter you up there. If you've ever been up to Park Penalta up in Ystrad, then you'll know how really open it is. It's beautiful area, it really is. But it just, for filming purposes, it was ideal because it looks so alien.
Yeah.
And especially with like the filters they put on the cameras and everything to give everything it's got like a yellowy tungsten-y kind of hue. That it's just absolutely perfect. But it was just wonderful and horrendous to be out in at the same time.
Like heat, cold, all of it. You sort of went through the sort of 4 different stages.
The first
of
2
weather
days we got sunburnt. We had people going off to hospital with sunstroke and exhaustion.
It was almost like we were on an alien planet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we're going to have to stop you there. I think we're about to run out of time. Quickly, where can people see it? What film festivals? Where's it going to be?
We're looking to get it out on film festivals.
Yeah. It's not going to be around till really end of this year,
Yeah.
beginning
Okay.
of next year.
Yeah,
really.
at the very least.
Thank you for coming to see me.
Brilliant.
So there you go. Search
Thank
the
you.
name.
Thank you.